Gavi's day?
Oh, Mr. Gaffey is very happy that Mr. Gaffey got a nap because Mr. Gaffey has not been getting enough sleep lately for a number of reasons. But very happy that today I got a nap. In fact, that's why there was almost a hashtag late Gaffey. It may have only been in the upright position for about 6 minutes.
Hmm.
Just enough
I
time.
actually, I slept really well this week.
What's it like? um. Oh.
Well, for me, it's the norm.
Yeah, I think not just me, but everybody hates you right now.
uh,
Like that is the so there are two ways to make people really dislike you. The number one way is something that you posted. I don't know if you sent that to the World's Worst Podcast channel or not, but it's one that you've definitely talked to me about before, or at least sent me the graphic for that, about the contracting coronavirus, no mask, it's like 35%. One person's mask, it's like 5. They both, it's 1.5. If one of them says, hey, I have a podcast, it's absolutely 0, as the other person literally runs the other direction.
yeah. Yes, I think I said that to you directly.
Mm-hmm. The other one, to make people hate you that much, is to just simply say, "Oh yeah, I've been getting a lot of sleep recently, and I feel really rested and just generally good about life." And then everyone hates you because they have to find some way to balance that equation. It just goes against the natural order.
Yeah.
Um, oh, you threw it. There we go. I'm looking through my phone for it. I'm like, I know it's in here somewhere. Um, hmm.
Funny.
Looking through my phone is a terrible idea right now because there's just so much crap in there. I've been downloading way too many. Just the meme game recently has been too strong, and I'm going to avoid talking about my own, um, because well, at least I'm going to try and avoid talking about my own
Your own what?
meme game.
You have meme game?
I Did you see the Johnny Bravo meme?
I remember. Oh yes, yes,
Yeah.
on Twitter. Yes.
Yeah, that was me.
But
Also,
you don't live with your mother anymore.
I know, but that's why it says, in your late 20s, because I moved out before I was 30 by like 13 days. It counts, dadgummit.
Uh, I think I
Um,
was officially out of my parents' house before I turned.
you know, I have reasons for having still been there, and I'm not really upset about it because it lets me make this rather amazing meme, um, and be totally truthful and factual about it. I really,
To be fair, though, officially being out of my mother's house, I moved in with my grandmother.
you know, that is what we call pertinent information. Um,
Uh, and then shortly thereafter, I moved into a college onto college campus, and then I moved back home with my parents for a short while, and then I moved in with my cousin.
Boomeranger. Um,
And then I got married, and then we moved around like 3 or 4 different times. Once to include to living with my parents. Terrible idea.
double
um,
boomeranger.
yeah. Um, and then we got our own house. Again,
Mm-hmm.
terrible idea.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got divorced, and now I live here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And hopefully next year I will live somewhere else.
Hopefully next year I will live somewhere else. I mean, I'm already making plans for it. Unfortunately, the piece of property I was looking at to put a house on got sold, which is very unfortunate because there's not anything else around here like that with in that price range. Because that would have been,
Jumped on it when you had the chance.
yeah, I didn't have the $65,000 it was going to take to do that. Tragically, poor life decisions, or more likely, more accurately, perhaps, 3 years of not being able to work. Just possibly that had something to do with it. Oh dear.
So our podcast last week was all D&D, all Foundry.
It was.
Less of a podcast and more of us. It was more of the old school of when we used to just talk to each other.
I mean, I try to just maintain that anyway. I just seem to have a lot more to say, which is also just a general issue in life with me. I
Yeah,
just have
that's
a
just
lot
you
more to
in
say.
general.
But um, because I distinctly recall having odd discussions like that, where it was kind of the other way around, where you were playing Minecraft or something, and I was probably there fishing and just throwing out the weird randomness. So that's been a while. Um,
Hmm. Um, so we're going to try and use Foundry tomorrow,
okay,
or we're not going to try. We're going to do it. It's just whether or not it's going to be a good experience. Which I don't know why it wouldn't be a good experience. I've got I've got all the maps. The only thing that'll be bad is if you guys want to do something that I don't have in Foundry, which I've tried to get everything that you would want in Foundry in here, but I don't know. We shall see.
the time has
I even
come
I
to
even put the
embark.
Solarium in here.
Hmm.
I even put the Solarium in here.
Awesome. Sounds though that it is time at last for the goat farm dream to be realized.
Hey, I got a map for that.
Alrighty then, we'll have to step this up somehow. We're gonna
I
move to
even
a
think
fishing.
I even think I got all the scaling done properly.
We're gonna move to a fishing village and turn in and make and become worm farmers for bait. Corner the market on that in like a week.
So I got on today. Well, I've been binge watching Stargate SG-1
Mm-hmm.
all week. I'm on season. I think I'm on season 6, episode 7.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, just been binge watching it nonstop. Um, and all I've done today is watch Stargate. Just sitting in my recliner, playing on my phone, watching Stargate. Um, and then I got up about 4 hours ago and came over to my computer because somebody asked me a question. And then I opened up Foundry and started messing around in it. And I found, well, I didn't find. Poppy sent me um, a module for Foundry that connects to the 5e Tools website,
Uh huh.
and initially didn't use it because I had the D&D Beyond module, and I was using D&D Beyond to import everything, which is it's fine, it works fine, but 5e Tools is a whole lot easier to use. Uh, like you can even use the 5e Tools to build your character in Foundry, which Poppy did today. Um, so it's actually pretty cool. So I got that installed and been playing around with it. And then I went and learned how to um, link in game items to text. So uh, that it pops up in text, in line with text, and you can just click on it and it'll pop up in the screen with whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I figured out how to do that today. So I've been playing around with it a little bit more. But yeah, so it should be fun and easy to use tomorrow. We'll see how that goes.
Very good. Very good. I didn't even think about that because Poppy and
Scrap, or yep, Poppy is Scrap.
yeah,
Poppy and Tony.
yeah. What's going on with Tony? I haven't seen or heard nor.
He has been completely swamped with work,
Gotcha.
trying to save his job and the job of those that work under him at a college.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just been it's been chaos. So he hasn't had time to do anything else.
Understandable. I mean, not preferable. We need our monk back. I think he would have helped out a lot with the last couple of things that we've done.
Well, he is currently captured, so
I mean, it's a great aside for him to not have to
he's
be here.
he's currently captured because uh, he is so busy.
Like, I want
But
to.
if he were to come back tomorrow, he would still be captured.
That needs to be like his own separate little adventure to go on, where like Langley's escape, and he has to try and break himself out. We just like walking down the street, and he's like, "Hey, there you are, found you." Or he's mad because we left him. One of the two.
I actually sent him a detailed um, document explaining to him what has happened to him and where his where his character I can't speak today, where his character currently is,
Right?
um, just so that he's in the loop. And that was fun. I've only seen them one because I did it like last week.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Alrighty. Well, you also sent me this very odd list here.
Yes, I sent you. I told you I was going to start making a list because I forget as soon as we start talking.
Mm-hmm.
I forget all the topics that I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So this time I sent you a list.
Mm-hmm. I want to start with the last one on your list here, where it says that I realize 78% of these are D&D related, but that's all I got this week. And I'm like, how is that different from any other week?
You're not wrong. You are not wrong.
I mean, it's kind of like we're kind of like a two-note podcast. We got D&D, we got Muppets. Occasionally, maybe might see some Star Wars news or something, and I'll be upset about that. Nothing to be upset about this week, though.
I haven't really seen anything.
Well, I mean, there's Star Wars news, but there's nothing I'm particularly upset about. Because, I mean, I might be next week. That might be a thing. Because next week is
Mandalorian comes out.
Yeah. And if they do stupid things, I'm going to be upset.
What? You really think they would do stupid things?
I don't think Dave Filoni or Jon Favreau would do any stupid things. But I think Disney Studios might do stupid things to The Mandalorian.
We're going to find out, aren't we?
They certainly had a hefty hand in it in doing stupid things to the last trilogy of movies. Right now I'm making my...
I don't think either one of those guys were part of that, though. So...
Jon Favreau was actually involved in Solo, but I liked Solo, so...
I liked Solo, too. Solo is my official second favorite Star Wars movie.
And you've heard...
Return of the Jedi. No. Revenge of the Sith.
Those are two...
Episode 7.
Wow.
6?
Oh my... Okay, we got to get off this before I drive to Alabama and just beat you for being an idiot.
5.
I'm like, I'm gonna drive down to like, no, I'm
straight right now. You know,
I'm gonna go get my keys right now, and we're putting this on hold until you get down there and beat some sense into you, because that was just unacceptable, absolutely unacceptable.
Oh my goodness!
I've even got some time off that I can take. I'm coming to. This is happening. Wow.
Hey, brain farts happen. Bro.
Okay, yes, I mean what you know, but holy crap, there is a limit to, like, you named 4 different movies and none of them were the right one. To say nothing of the fact that they were not the right one because, yeah. Anyway, there is an acceptable answer to what is the best Star Wars movie, and and you missed it.
I got there eventually.
You missed it a bunch of times. I'm like, this is not right.
I got there eventually.
You know. Okay, that was. Like, you don't understand. I am, like, genuinely ticked off right now.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, funny. No, it's not.
And the funny thing is, I didn't even do it on purpose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Of course, you're not going to believe that, but
no, I believe it, which does make it worse. In fact, because if you're making funny, you're like, oh yeah, I know that this is annoying. Yeah, oh ha ha ha, yeah. No.
Oh,
I am looking forward to the Mandalorian though. I am. It is one of the very few Star Wars things okay, actually, know what? I take it back. There's a lot of Star Wars things coming up that I'm very enthusiastic about. Mandalorian, season 2. Apparently, Ewan McGregor's been spotted on set in Obi-Wan Kenobi garb because he wasn't like in the program in the series, obviously, because he's dead. But they had him on set to, like, do some screen testing because they're going to be shooting it a lot the same way as the Mandalorian is.
Wait a second. Wow.
What?
Throat butt. Is she on this call somewhere?
Nope.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just looked at World's Worst Podcast.
Yeah, she's been assaulting me all week long. That's the best way I can think of to describe it.
Assaulting you?
Assaulting me, yes.
How so?
Let's see. Just well, okay, so what was this? 22nd. How many days ago was that? That was Thursday night. Thursday night, she decides she's going to watch the best Star Wars movie for the first time. And she live chats the entire thing to me at 11:30. And I'm trying to go to bed.
Yep, that's something her and Ducky have in common.
Mm-hmm, and my phone's just going. And I'm like, I cannot go to sleep like this. But it's fine. I think it was. I resisted the temptation for whatever 2 hours and 10 minutes it is for that movie runs to just respond back and be like, just yeah. It took restraint. A lot of restraint. I mean, we could go through this here and I could do all the reactions that I was having. But probably not a good idea. Yeah. That might be a little bit raw on that still. But I mean, that was one example. There's been a couple this week. That's the main one, I think, that was potentially unpleasant. Some people don't understand how serious I take this stuff. It's Star Wars. Come on, you gotta get me up.
He does, in fact, take these things very seriously. If you don't believe me, go back about 4 or 5 episodes where he ranted about episode 9 for most of the podcast.
No, that was. See, this is the thing. We are now getting to the point in this podcast where you can't just say 4 episodes ago, because 4 episodes ago that was not the topic of conversation. That was the topic of conversation like 9 or 10 episodes ago.
Dear God, what have we done to the internet?
A terrible thing, I'm sure. That was a pretty good laugh. I have to remember how I did that. It might come in handy later. But yeah, so Kenobi's going to start filming. Ahsoka is supposed to get a live action thing. I'm going to watch it. I do wish they'd have cast.
Long pause.
I do wish they'd have cast somebody else, and I even have somebody else that I wish that they would have cast. Not that there's anything wrong with Rosario Dawson. I just happen to think that Eva Mendes would have been better. I need to get like my little I need to get like my little change my mind meme going here because I just happen to think that Eva Mendes is a better actress. Can't make that mistake. Are you sitting there over there going, who's Eva Mendes?
Yep, pretty much.
Here.
Don't know who you're talking about on either account.
Okay. Well, that's why we have the podcast interaction channel. This is going to go really well for people who are tuning in there and just being like, we're in silence. I wonder what's going on. Actually, we could set that up. We could do a live podcast just like this, but we could block everyone else from speaking in the channel. They could listen in, but not speak.
Well, why would we do that? That would just distract us immensely.
Not really. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess it kind of would, but I mean, not any more than we've been distracted tonight because she's been, messaging at me here. But all right, here we go. Here we go. So this is the actress that they have cast for Ahsoka. It's actually a very Ahsoka-ish face. I will give that to her, at least in this picture. That is a very Ahsoka-ish face. That is a yes.
Okay. Who is currently playing her?
No, that is who's playing her.
Oh, that is who's playing her.
Yes.
Okay.
I think they should have gotten Eva Mendes, who is this lady. I just like her better as an actress. I think she has a little bit more range. Yes.
Both pretty faces. I don't know. They both look familiar. That's as much as I can give you, though.
So, Eva Mendes, she actually hasn't been doing all that much recently, which might be why she didn't get picked up for the part. Because she's just kind of off the public radar at the moment. But Rosario Dawson, she played Claire in all of the Netflix Marvel series. The nurse who kept popping up and stitching the street level heroes back together. Is this ringing a bell? Did you watch any of the Star Wars. Did you watch any of the Netflix Marvel series? Is. Some? Okay. Well, then you should have encountered her at some point because she was in all of them.
That was years ago, though.
Yeah. Well, be that as it may. So, okay. Yeah, I'm looking at some other pictures here, and face-wise, Rosario Dawson is pretty spot on Ahsoka in the face, but I still think Eva Mendes would have been a better idea, just better option, because she's also pretty spot on. But like I said, I think she's a better actress. Personal opinion, fight me. I think she also has from some movies that I've seen her in the past, I think she also has some better action side of things going for her. But again, she's not the one who's cast. Darn it. Also, for people like me who are big fans of the Clone Wars series and Star Wars Rebels. They are doing a spin-off series from Clone Wars called The Bad Batch, which are going to be following the Bad Batch clone reject squad that was brought in season 7, which I thought was one of the best and most underused parts of season 7. So I'm very happy to know that they're going to get their own spin on things, because that to me just sounds like fun. I really
Say that again?
Did you not pick up on this? So
No,
season 7.
I wasn't listening.
So season 7.
You started talking about Star Wars and I tuned out.
Usually happens. So season 7 of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, they introduced a group of clones called the Bad Batch. And they were...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're doing a spin-off series for them.
Oh, that's going to be dope.
Like I said, I think they're one of the most criminally underutilized parts of season 7. And there was a lot of stuff which was just like such great ideas, which were presented well. And then I want more, and they're like, oh, and that's the end of our series. And I'm like, no, darn it, you just opened up the door for so many cool things, and now you're just like, you have to just make do with that. And I'm like, anyway, I mean, I guess they did bring it right up to the Battle of Coruscant, so there's not that much else they could go with it, but because the story from there is pretty well told in Star Wars Episode 3. But I digress. I wanted to see more Bad Batch, and now apparently we get to, which I'm happy about.
Cool.
I think that'll be a great series. Also, still attached to the showrunners, the showrunner, Dave Filoni. And apparently George Lucas somehow or another is back in the building. I don't know how that happened, or what's going on, or why that is, but I think that is an amazing bit of news, because they needed I would say a gentle guiding hand, but that's not what they needed at all. A firm slap upside the head. Maybe that was more accurate. So yeah, that'd be good. So what else? Oh, I guess since we're on Star Wars, we should talk about the Proto Saber that you wanted to be discussing.
Oh, yes. So let me see if I can find it. Should have already had it up, but you know me.
I would try and look for it in my history, but that's a terrible idea.
Copy. Adding to the thing. So, the Hacksmith, they have created a Proto Saber. They call it a lightsaber. If you watch the video, he says, well, technically it's a Proto Saber.
Right, because it has an external power source.
They continue to call it a lightsaber. But dude, it's so freaking cool looking. It looks cool until they start cutting stuff with it.
Yeah.
They have another video where they cut stuff with it, and then it doesn't look as cool.
They just put out another one. They just put out.
It's so freaking slow, and it takes forever.
And compared to, it doesn't actually take as long as you think it does. Compared to some of the best cutting implements that we have developed so far, it's on par with what we've been able to develop so far. I will say this though. Number one, they just put out another video yesterday, I believe, where they cut into a safe with it. I haven't seen that yet, but I did see that it was available to watch.
Oh, yep, I see it right here.
So I'll be seeing that eventually. But the design on it is just so cool.
Oh, yeah, it looks awesome.
We're still a little bit farther away. We're still a little bit far away from being able to actually call this a proper lightsaber. In fact, in terms of functionality, the one they made before this, that was actually the tungsten rod, wrapped in titanium and all kinds of other stuff, was probably closer to the actual function of a lightsaber, because you could actually duel with it. This one, the blades will just pass through, which is kind of the big contention that people have with actually being lightsabers.
Yep.
But they have not quite gotten that whole magnetic containment field worked out, which allows the lightsaber to actually have some sort of uh not mass, but some sort of like resistant substance to it.
Yeah.
But
Saying.
hmm?
I get what you're trying to say.
Yeah. It's cool.
But yeah, it is cool. It looks really cool. I like the design they came up with.
Yeah, the Hexmans do a really good job with not just creating something like making it real, but also going beyond that to making it look good.
Yes, indeed.
I've been watching them for a couple years. They've done Iron Man armor, they've done web shooters, they did Captain America's shield, they did Mjolnir.
The
Um,
last video I saw uh, for the Iron Man one, they were trying to do like the flight with the gauntlets.
yes,
Um, I don't think they actually got there.
they got like
No.
4 seconds. Kitty Hawk was up longer than that. Um, for those who know their aeronautics history. So, like I said, I mean, it's not like, okay, think of it this way. They, all of their advancements and things that they're working on are getting closer and closer, and some of their technology that they're using can carry over. Some of the stuff that they did for like focusing to turn this lightsaber into a blade can probably also be used to upgrade their Iron Man armor or their Iron Man flight systems in order to be able to focus those uh, repulsors or propulsors, whichever they're trying to make them out to be, into a more concentrated beam, which can technically possibly give them more lift or more force. So it would not surprise me if the lessons that they learn from this get carried over to that, and then you start seeing them actually being able to get off the ground. Because that's how science works, people. You take something you use someplace else, you try it someplace different, and they're like, hey, it works. How about that? At least I think that's how that works. Is that how it works, Masters?
I don't know. I've never done it.
Okay. Well, that went real far.
Oh.
So, is there any point that you're making about Stargate other than the fact that you're watching it?
Just that I'm watching it, wondering if you've ever seen it. I don't know
Nope.
if you've ever seen it.
I I saw the movie. I have seen half of one episode.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I'm sure it is. And
Good.
what?
It's so good.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure from the and here's the difficult thing. I've heard that the show is significantly different from the movie, and the movie I love. It is just it's
I
one of
won't
those,
say it's. I
huh?
won't say it's different. It just builds onto it. It expands the concept.
Right. But I've heard people say that there's like a lot very different tonality to it, and I mean,
Oh yeah, it's less serious.
right.
It's more of a. I don't know. It's a sitcom would be
That
like
that would be a
it's a
terrible
weird.
analogy.
Yeah, it's a weird because I mean it's got some episodes where they get super serious.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some episodes where it's just complete chaos and hilarity. Then they've got some episodes that are um, more uh, um, detective work kind of stuff. Then they've got some that are more delving into different ancient civilizations. I mean, it's got a wide spectrum of episodes.
I mean, so it's not the parallels that I've always heard about Stargate are obviously Star Trek, which has a fairly similar tonality makeup to that. You have some that are like deadly serious. You have other ones that are kind of tongue in cheek. There's some where it's all character focused. Other ones are talking about trying to connect with the species. In fact, that's one of my favorite episodes. Darmok, if anyone wants to look that up. I forget what season. I think it's season 4. I'm gonna be really shocked if that is season 4. I'm not going to look it up. Sass, you can either confirm or deny or stay out of it entirely. But it's kind of interesting because even though there's different tonality from episode to episode, what science fiction shows like that have the opportunity to do, and I think has actually been very well done in a lighter version of science fiction show recently, the Orville, is they have the opportunity to not really talk about what's happening on screen. Like, yeah, okay, you have the characters from the ship, and they go to the planet, and they do this and that and the other, and then they come back to the ship, and the episode is over. Okay, fine. That's what happens on screen. But what they actually are referring to is they're using that as a vehicle to talk about something totally different, which is really not Star Wars. Man, I keep doing that. What's really what science fiction is all about. Star Wars isn't even science fiction. Changed my mind. It's becoming closer to science fiction because we're getting our science closer to their fiction, but it's not science fiction. It's science fantasy. Because the Force. Anyway, in terms of science fiction shows in general, they are able to use a much broader top-down kind of view to explore issues that we face as people. And I really enjoyed that because they get to kind of take some of the polarized edges out of very difficult topics of conversation and just say, hey, well, what happens if we put some completely unrelated people to our present situation in our situation, and what would happen? And I think that they do a very, very good job of that on a lot of shows. Star Trek being kind of the premier one, Orville doing pretty good. I kind of, from what I've heard, years ago, I had my principal in grade school, actually, that was a long time ago. I was mentioning something to him that I was watching Star Trek, and he was kind of leery about it because he didn't like some things that happened with Q. And that's a Star Trek, not really deep reference, but you kind of have to watch Star Trek to know who Q is. But he was kind of complaining about, not really complaining, but he's like, I don't really like it because this and that and the other thing. I'm like, okay, I guess. And he says, but what he really did like was Stargate. And he started telling me about Stargate and how he was a big fan of Teal'c and of his species and the concept behind him. So it's there's a lot of room in the science fiction genre to talk about a lot of things, as long as the writing is good enough. And sometimes it's just not. But that's a whole other story. I can't say. Oh, what was the other one? There's another big science fiction show that I've heard about. I actually have the what?
Dark Matter?
Nope. Say it's actually have the entire series on VHS. I gave it to my dad because I had no VHS player to play it on, and he did. It's called Babylon 5, and it's just like a space station, and there's just a bunch of random species. Apparently, they do a much better job than Star Trek does in their character creation, because Star Trek, they just kind of paint someone blue and say, look, it's a new species. And it's like, well, yeah, I think you could do better. It really wasn't until like Star Trek Enterprise where they started to really flush out other species. So, yeah. But that's a whole other story. I did. Oh, since I'm on the science fiction show anyway, I'm going to make a quick aside to recognize the original science fiction television show, The Twilight Zone, and one of my favorite episodes of all time, and probably what is broadly considered to be one of the best episodes of all time. It's called "The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street." And if you have not seen this episode, I would strongly recommend you find a way to see it. And while you're watching it, just think a little bit about exactly where we are culturally right now. Because Gene Roddenberry got really close. Wow, did he get close? Without the alien MacGuffin. But, I mean, take that out and replace it with modern culture. We have The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street right now. It's terrifying. Wow, is it terrifying? Yes. Anyway, that was fun. I think I went on 3 rabbit trails off of that.
Of course you did.
Well, I mean,
That's what you do.
That's what I mean. One thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. And hey, did you? Yeah. So we should talk about. And by doing this, I am kind of giving up on the whole rest of this podcast being about anything other than D&D, because as soon as I like finish this statement, it's off. So if you are not interested in D&D, thank you for watching. It's been great. Y'all are awesome. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Definitely share. That's going to be really helpful for us because we want to build this thing beyond 3 viewers. We love all 3 of you, but at some point we might want to get a 4th one in here just to rebalance everything. 3 people watching, it's kind of unbalanced. We gotta have like 2 on both sides. Anyway, so Tuesday's game. We're 4 sessions in on down 2 characters.
Didn't go quite as planned, did it?
Not at all.
Oh.
Turn you, Mumbles.
Well, it wasn't entirely Mumble's fault. It was a group effort.
Oh no, I'm blaming the DM.
Of course you are.
No, I have no issues with with what Mumbles did. I probably wouldn't have done it, and the rest of the party probably would have wiped in that situation. I'm fairly confident had he not done that, everyone would be dead. For those who are not aware, my character came in. I was trying to build her very slowly into a spellcasting tank. Unfortunately, at level 3, she did not have enough abilities to make that happen. And so, in her first session...
so much for me.
What?
I'm getting every other word.
I don't know why you're having issues. Apparently a lot of people are having issues with this. I'm thinking it's a Discord thing. I'm going to... Maybe Discord changed something with their coding, because I've been getting a lot more cut out with everybody. Not just me sending to them, but them sending to me. So... let's back this down a little bit here and see if this helps. Hopefully, that will solve our issue. Of course, now you may also be able to hear my roommate in the background, so you have to let me know if that happens. Okay. So anyway, yeah. Built a character. Tried to make her into a tank. Apparently, she was not tanky enough at the outset. She is dead. Already. Not happy. I actually did like seriously consider taking a week off to be like, I gotta totally redesign my entire approach to this. And then I said, well, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to make a character that I think would be fun to kill. And here we are.
So did you refix him?
I have changed his race. I had picked so DM weeks ago tells me make sure you have Critical Role content activated. It will be important later. So I activate Critical Role content.
Yep.
And it
That
comes up with this
class,
wonderful race
that
that
race
fits exactly what I'm trying to do
not
just fine.
not roll. You had homebrew selected. That is on you, not me, sir.
Um,
But yes, I agree. It's an excellent race. That's the race that I play on Thursday nights with Vinjo.
you won't let me use it.
No, I won't, because it does not. They do not exist in this world.
So I have changed to a Yanti Pureblood, which is actually what I was going to use anyway, but I was going to use him for something totally different, but I'm going to say screw that anyway. And,
That's
huh?
gonna be weird. That's gonna be weird.
Well, there's different levels of, like, snake that they can be, so I'm trying to just make one, like, that'll fit, like, the brows on his ridges and a couple other things, but there's not really anything that really comes across as being what
So
I'm
he's
trying to
gonna have
make.
legs.
What?
He's gonna have legs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's a
Yeah.
bunch of, huh?
The Yanti I made didn't have legs.
Well, if I'd have gone with my first idea, he wouldn't have had legs either. I was like, I'm gonna bring in Lehigh. People are killing his students. He's gonna come in here and just wreck face. And then I'm like, no, I'm done. That school can die with everything else. I will find something else to play. Um, I could make him a turtle.
That would be fun.
Mm, but the class I'm going for is not really going to work out for that very well. Hmm. Plus, the Yanti have some racial traits that make it really beneficial for me. For the class I'm going for. So, you know, things like that.
Right.
Is the
Set this thing up.
what are you trying to do here?
I'm trying to. So I imported a bunch of stuff into Foundry
Mm-hmm.
using this new module that I've started using,
Mm-hmm.
and it imported a bunch of the rollable tables for me,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't do it very well. And so right now I'm going through and trying to fix some of them.
Okay. Hmm. Let's see. Is there anything here that would? Yeah, there's not really any character art out here that would really communicate what I'm trying to with him, so I'm just gonna let that go. But I mean, there are Yanti that are two-legged, bipedal, and it just says that they have some level of reptilian thing attributed to them. So I think I can get away with that. At least I haven't heard any direct objections so far. An awful lot of those been happening. Just saying. Masters, are you there? You are muted. Holy crap. How unprofessional is this? We're in the middle of his part of the. Mutes himself.
I I misclicked a button on my keyboard and accidentally pressed my mute button.
Mm hmm. Mm hmm.
I was sitting there talking to you the whole time.
Mm hmm. Well,
Uh,
guess what we didn't hear?
uh,
Would you like to try again, Masters?
not particularly.
Mm-hmm.
I was just saying that I have no objections.
Mm-hmm.
What were you not? Wait, when did I press it? How long ago was it that I pressed it?
I'm not
Because you said,
sure. I asked you a direct question, and you did not respond, and I'm like, did he mute himself? And you certainly did.
yeah, you talked about the turtle,
Mm-hmm.
and I said that would be kind of cool.
I
Did you
heard
hear that
that.
part?
I heard that part.
Okay.
I responded to it directly.
Uh, but yeah,
So sometime after that.
sometime after that.
Mm-hmm. Highly unprofessional. I mean,
Well,
that's really the whole name of the game here, but
yeah, sure is. If you wanted a professional podcast, you should look elsewhere.
yeah, so I'm looking to have some fun with him. Was that really all you want to talk about for that one?
I mean, if that's all you've got,
I mean, not really anything else happened there. We just kind of dropped in, we fought 2 battles, my character died.
yeah.
There
You
was
guys,
no further development.
Monkey
Nothing
was
happened.
really close. Monkey was really close to seeing the ambush. He rolled an 18. He needed 20
Mm-hmm.
because you guys did not capture. Um, you didn't capture a
Kobold or anything?
kobolds or the cultist from the first fight. If you had captured and interrogated them, it would
Yeah.
have given you
I'm
information on the ambush. You'd have been able to see it from further away with a lower DC.
Yeah, I've been kind of keeping track with everybody throughout the week, and I'm just going to say this: this campaign is very quickly turning the entire party into murder hobos. Like this is
Oh,
going to be
absolutely.
like this is going to be like someone who pops up. We're like, shoot him.
Which so Tuesday is going to be very interesting if you guys keep that up.
Like
That's
that.
all I'm going to say.
I don't know any way to stop that from happening. I think it's already past the point of no return. um,
Yeah.
it's
So it's going to be interesting for sure. Um. So yeah.
yeah. I don't see any way that that's not going to be the thing because every time a somewhat less lethal option has been explored, it has resulted in either character death or something near there. And
What do you mean a less lethal?
okay, so Poshu is a bad example. But like the specifically the mill, like they were just going in there to wait, and that was it. And they got attacked, and Tashana died,
There was an ambush.
and now Ducky is out for blood. Like she's like she might be leading the murder hobo charge right now. I'm just gonna be honest.
Well, part of that issue was that you and Mumbles stayed outside and split the party.
We were
And you
keeping
guys
watch,
got in
and we were keeping watch, which we didn't think was actually splitting
I,
the party.
I,
So I was like,
I understand that.
mm-hmm.
But had you guys gone in with them, that would have been 4 less shots on them. Everybody would have gotten 2 shots equally. But you guys stayed outside and they went in, and your 3 lowest health people got the brunt of it.
I should have just blown up the whole thing. Um,
Yes, then the mayor would have murdered you.
you may have tried, but you do not think you would have
The mayor would
succeeded.
have. The guard would have.
The guards were attacking us. I mean, at that point, again, might as well.
The guard, the the guard was just the stat block that it was using. It
Well,
wasn't an actual.
from the player's perspective, when we first started making our way towards the mill, you said you see in front of you, and then you describe the situation. You see in front of you a group of cultists and a group of guards, they appeared to be talking to each other.
Yes, that was poor planning on both mine and the module's part. Um, if I had foreseen the confusion there, I would have changed the name.
Because every time we saw guards, we're like, well, I guess we have to kill them. This is and it makes logical sense. Okay, the guards are in on it somehow. Okay, whatever. Maybe they're mercenaries. Doesn't matter. They are the bad guys. All the guards have to die. That became that became the huh.
That was just the name of the stat block.
Yep. Well, that's what was communicated. So that's what we were acting on. Again, this module is like almost tailored to turning everyone into murder hobos.
Yeah.
So, like, I am going to be quite shocked if when we get back there, if Taylor doesn't try and murder hobo the mayor, because she's going to be very excited to do that, I'm sure. Did you mess with my spells?
I have not touched anything.
Okay, I just saw.
Maybe look at it since you
Okay.
changed.
I just saw that like there was another spell there that I hadn't seen before, and I'm like, where did that come from? Does he only have? Okay, that's annoying. He pretty much only has concentration spells. Oh well, I'll deal with it.
I broke Foundry.
Do it again.
That,
Oh
that,
wow,
sweet.
this is actually wow. Okay, I can deal with this. I can deal with this. Alrighty. I think I'm gonna enjoy playing a paladin. It's I think I tried it like my first character, I think he was a paladin, and then that was a one shot and there was not really any role play happening there. So I wasn't particularly thrilled with it, but I think he could be fun. Possibly. Maybe. Anyway, so we've talked about Tuesday's game. We've talked about my new character, who. So just for the audience here, I'm making Boss Nass from. That's why I have to have something roughly reptilian or amphibious. I'm making Boss Nass from Star Wars Episode 1 because.
I'm a little upset you didn't go with my idea of having a grung that was part giant.
Yeah, I didn't feel. Number one, that would be homebrew. Number two,
And
well, apparently homebrew's not allowed.
no, just Dark Troken specifically. Because I didn't come up with that homebrew.
Why does that matter?
Because they're not in this world.
Okay. Well, anyway, I didn't want to deal with the grung thing of having to be immersed in water every day. That seems like it would get rather tiresome. So I decided not to do that. Also, grung don't really have any beneficial stats for being a paladin in the slightest. So I didn't do it.
Yet.
Yeah, I've heard about that, but yet is not. I talked with Mumbles today, and he was telling me about that, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. It doesn't really help me right now. So, with the way things are right now, and the tools that I have at the moment to create a character, this is where we are. Also, I understand. Okay, I understand why they're making those rule changes, and that is actually to me really stupid.
Yes, the reason why they're doing it is stupid.
Yes.
The effects of what they did, I'm okay with. If it wasn't the reasoning backing behind what they did. Like
Mm-hmm.
if they just done this, I'd be like, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah.
But because they have this reasoning behind it, I'm like, "That's stupid. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I'm gonna take advantage of it, but that's stupid."
I think that there would have been so many better ways to do this. I mean, plus, I like the idea that there are very, very distinctive advantages to picking one race over another, just in a class sense. Because by doing that, you might draw someone into playing either a different race or a different class than they would have normally because they actually wanted to try one or the other and trying to either use a class to its best potential or to utilize a race to its highest peak. They would have to pick this particular class. Okay, that's fine. I think that is a great way to play the game. It encourages diversity among players and player characters. I think we're going to see a lot of people who are just rocking plus fours right out the bat. So I'm going to minimize like all my stats except for strength, and I'm gonna play an orc, and he's gonna hit things. Okay. I'm gonna play a sorcerer, and it's gonna be all charisma. You'll be the pretty. I mean, this is just exactly what's going to happen.
Mhm.
Mildly upset about this. Blah. Anyway, neither here nor there, but very frustrating.
Oh.
Oh, and I guess we also need to talk about Mumble's game.
Mhm.
I know nothing about Mumble's game, despite having talked with Mumbles for an hour and a half today.
I don't really know a whole lot about Mobile's game because I'm playing it, so I'm trying to stay out of it. Like he'll ask me a question, or he'll be like, "Do you have any questions about the setting? Do you have any questions about?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to know anything until we start playing." Um, but I have my character built, and I'm stupid excited to play it.
Well, what's your character then? Please do tell
Um,
us.
he is a Firbolg. He is 2 levels in Druid, and is a Druid Circle of the Spores.
Okay.
And he is 1 level Cleric, and he is a
Wait,
War
wait,
Cleric.
wait. You're already multi-classing?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So I was gonna do straight Druid, but I really want him to be um, so the way druids are built, they're a full caster
Mm-hmm.
class, and so they are very behind the scenes, c- uh, um, con- uh, what is it called? Control oriented.
Right.
The words I was looking for, but that'll work.
Those work. I
They're
understand
very
those words.
battlefield control.
Mm-hmm.
Bam. Uh, and so but I want him to be more of a tanky, beat you in the face with his weapon kind of druid, with using his magical abilities as necessary,
Mm-hmm.
but mainly as a tank. Um, and so I was looking at some builds for Druid of the Spores that would be like that, and somebody suggested adding at least 1 level of War Cleric. Um, so at level 3, I have the potential to do 50 damage in 1 round.
Okay.
And I played the class, um, I played a modified version of the class um, Thursday night where I did 1 cleric, 2 druid, and then 13 levels, no, 12 levels of fighter.
Mm-hmm.
That was a heck of a lot of fun if I could have rolled worth of crap that night. Um, but that actually had a chance of doing 189 damage in one round with 7 attacks, and that's not including crits.
Hmm.
I never got to do that because I couldn't roll worth a crap. But I did do like 76 damage in one round.
Right.
One that was pretty sweet. Um, but I think I'm going to steer away from that because I also built what I would want. Um, Loric, is that his name? Loric, or actually Leoric.
Mm-hmm.
Pronounce it correctly. But Leoric is I built him more like I want to, and he is just one level cleric, and then the rest is druid. So just to get that, because war cleric allows me to wear heavy armor,
Mm-hmm.
and so I can get my AC up to 20 with war cleric.
Right.
Um, and it also gives me the spell uh, 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 divine favor,
Right.
which gives me an extra D4 of radiant damage at first level.
As it turns out, I am looking at my character sheet for my paladin, and I also have divine favor. I'm checking to see if I want to use that one or something else.
And it also gives me it's just called War Priest.
Right.
Is the ability,
Mm-hmm.
which sounds weird for what it actually does. But 3 times per long rest, I can use my bonus action to make an attack.
Nice.
So I can actually, with a druid, I can normally only attack once,
Mm-hmm.
but 3 times per day, I can now attack twice.
Very nice.
Uh, um, and don't and the max I would want to do is 3 levels in War Cleric, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to do um, straight Druid the rest of the way, because I want 9th level spells. So I may start out as and it's really going to depend on. I told Bumbles this. It's really going to depend on what the party's like
Mm-hmm.
when we start to level up as to what I actually do. Um, because it may end up that we need somebody that can attack 7 times in a round. So
Right.
I may go the fighter route. Um, or it may be that I transition away from being the tank and be more of that stand back battlefield control that can handle himself if something comes up on him.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't really decided on what the future is of him, but I am definitely starting out one cleric, two druid.
So that sounds a little. I mean, like if you take in the fighter route, that sounds a little bit like a character that I have sitting in my inventory. In the event that you do another battle royale, may have looked up a couple things. I think he has 2 rounds where he can technically attack like 9 times. Which allows him to deal something like 900 and some damage in a round at level
Oh,
20.
I just got an idea. Um, Let me go look at something real quick. Uh, few spells. Gah, could not find it. That spell, third
Okay.
level spell. Okay. And who can cast it? Sorcerer, wizard, artificer, and certain. Ooh, a druid, circle of the land can cast it. Interesting.
Okay. So that explains those. All right. So I'll probably want one of these.
Level.
What are you saying there?
I'm muttering to myself.
I
So
know you are. I was trying to figure out what you're
fifth
muttering.
level druid. Okay, so 5th level druid, so that's 5 levels druid, 1 level cleric, and 14. Is that math right? Yeah, 14 levels of fighter. Would that be right?
I don't know.
Uh okay. So um imagine imagine this level 20 character, 5 levels circle of the land druid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if I want him druid. I haven't. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about this too much. But have uh, 5 levels in a full caster that can cast haste.
Mm-hmm.
14 levels of fighter and 1 level of war cleric. You can haste yourself and do um, uh, your normal 3 attacks.
Right.
Then you do your hasted 1 attack
Mm-hmm.
because haste only gives you 1 extra attack. Then you action surge, do 3 more attacks, and then you bonus action your war priest to do another attack.
Interesting.
It's eight
Oh.
attacks.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Ooh, this could be fun. So.
But you could only do that once in a long rest period or short rest.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get back? Do fighters get that back on a short rest? Action surge. Short. Yeah, they get that back on a short rest.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so once for short rest, you'd be able to do that.
A lot to be said for it. A lot to be said for this too.
Ooh. Okay. Actually,
Yes.
forget that. Just go straight 20 levels in fighter, and you get 4 attacks anyways.
Right.
So you 4 attacks, action surge, 4 more attacks, and then you can offhand.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 9 attacks,
Yeah.
and then hasted, that's 10 attacks.
And then what? Oh, hasted is 10
Hasted.
attacks, yeah. So I forget how I did this. I may have sought outside help.
That's what Monkey was he was a level 20
Fighter,
fighter.
yeah.
I was able to keep shooting.
It's a level 12 fighter with 4 levels in rogue and 4 levels in ranger. I forget exactly how it works. It's been a while since I put this together because I assumed, however many weeks ago that was, that we were either going to do another one or we were going to start a campaign where my character wouldn't die every week. I was wrong in both counts.
It didn't die every week.
Close
It
enough.
didn't die the first 2.
Close enough. Almost died session 0. Almost died. Went down every single round.
Everybody almost died session 0. Except Mumbles, because Mumbles didn't technically get a session 0 because he came in so late.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. I'm going back to my initial point here. This module is designed to turn everyone into murder hobos. Like, it's a shopkeeper. Kill him quick. That's just how this is playing out. Anyway, and a hopefully somewhat semi more positive note, possibly, maybe, probably not. I know nothing about Mumble's game, so just leave that go. Why do you want to talk about Friendly's game?
Because you sent me the recording. How did that go?
It didn't.
It didn't?
It didn't. I showed up at 9:00, ready to do my thing, and they were still in the midst of fighting a sub boss on the floor below me. There's like this big castle here, and they took an hour and 45 minutes to take down the sub boss. At which point they're all like, "Oh, we're tired, we're going to bed." And I'm like, "So am I. I wish I'd have done it an hour and 45 minutes ago because I would have gotten some sleep last week."
Oh, that's funny.
So now we have an issue because they did beat the sub boss, but I'm the next thing up, and I can't be there at the start of the next session. In fact, I'll not be there for like almost 3 hours in. Like I think they start at like 6:30. I can't be there till 9. Kind of an issue, you might say. Not for me, but for everybody else. Like we gotta figure this one out because I mean I'm not gonna be there.
Oh, that's funny.
I mean,
Hashtag.
Ducky was involved, so there might be a reason why it took so long.
My goodness.
She doesn't listen to this. Broke, but don't tell her. Oh. And then I guess Friendly wants to do some sort of gigantic multi-DM monstrosity. I think from the description he sent to me, he's just trying to make people angry.
It sounds like it.
Because he wants his story, your campaign elements, and he wants my sadisticness,
Huh?
which is probably not a good thing. I don't think that's a good combo. There's
I think it's a great combo.
I mean, if you want to get people mad.
And we do.
I mean, that's the kind of thing where you have to probably just should tell everyone when you guys make your character, just like hit the randomize and let it go.
Oh, I thought about that the other day. It would be so much fun to do a random campaign. Like you use the Dungeon Master's Guide to randomly make all of the encounters. You randomly make your characters,
Mm-hmm.
and you just see what happens. You go on D&D Beyond, and you just hit randomize character, and you go with it.
I mean, that works for the character. The encounter, that could be a real problem. Because you press randomize encounter and it pops up Tarask level 2. Oh, well, here we are. Guess this one's over.
Well, the character level would be set.
Mm-hmm.
Theoretically.
I mean, probably one of the most unintentionally fun.
I'm
What?
gonna do it right and see what happens. Randomize. Okay, so when you click randomize, you tell it what level you want it,
Mm-hmm.
and you can choose your race and your class if you want to. Um, you can choose to allow multi-class, and you can choose to allow feats, and then you can choose a character name. So let's do a level 15 character. We're gonna name him Mumbo. I don't know why. I'm going to allow subclasses or allow multi-classing and allow feats.
I'm gonna do this
I
too.
didn't choose a race or a class. Let's see what it gives me.
Level 15, you said?
Huh?
Level 15, you said?
Yes, level 15.
Okay, all sources.
Okay. It gave me a Warforged Paladin for 13 levels, 1 level in Artificer, and 1 level in Fighter. What is this monstrosity? I'm immune to disease and being frightened. I have resistance to poison. I have I have advantage on saves against poison.
Mm-hmm.
My stats fairly even. Um, let's see, it gave me some interesting spells. Did it properly give me all of my spells? It did not. So it left the spells open for me to choose.
Huh.
Oh, and it didn't give me my starting equipment either. Let's see here. So I have magical tinkering, which is useless, pretty much. Um,
This is an abomination.
Uh, my fighting style is dueling for my fighter.
Uh-huh.
So I get +2 to damage rolls when I only have one weapon in one hand. As long as it's a one-handed weapon and it's only in one hand,
Mm-hmm.
I can have a shield in the other hand. I get second wind. I only get one level of second wind, so it's a maximum of 11 HP, but 11 HP is 11 HP.
Right.
And with 2 HP. 2 HP is 2 HP. I get divine sense where I can use an action to detect good and evil.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location of any celestial fiend undead within 60 feet that's not behind total cover.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm a paladin, so I get 65 HP of lay on hands.
Right.
Um, and it chose dueling as my paladin. So does that stack?
No. Nothing stacks.
I don't think it does. But then why did it? What's the point?
Because it's random, that's why.
Oh my
Mm.
good. Uh, yeah. +2 bonus. It didn't even add the because I don't have any weapons. Let me add some weapons real quick so I can just double check. Uh, martial weapon and a shield. We're gonna go with a flail. Um, holy symbol and
Why
go.
do I have this? What? Okay, so while you're doing that, they've dropped me with a level
Oh, it
13.
does stack.
It does.
It does stack.
Interesting.
It's giving me a +7 to damage, so I can do a minimum of 8 damage when I hit with this thing.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Okay, so this is from Variant Human. Okay, I was like, that makes sense. I guess.
All right, let's see here. I have my divine smites.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I took the oath of the conquest, which gives me my channel divinity is conquering presence. As an action, force chosen creatures within 30 feet to make a wisdom saving throw where they become frightened for 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
Creatures can repeat the saving throw at the end of their turn. I also get the channel divinity guided strike. When you make an attack roll, you can use your channel divinity to gain +10 bonus to the attack roll. You can choose after the roll, but before knowing the result. I get an extra attack.
Mm-hmm.
I can attack twice. Um, I get the protection of aura creatures within 10 feet of me get a +1 bonus to saving throws. Um, all frightened creatures within 10 feet have their speed reduced to 0 and take 6 psychic damage. Wow. While you are conscious, you and friendly creatures within 10 feet can't be frightened.
Mm-hmm.
Improved divine smite. Target takes an extra 1d8 radiant damage. No action required. Um, wow. What did I get from? So that was all my paladin stuff. I guess I just picked up a little bit of spell casting from. Oh wait, do I get? No, it would show that if I got that. I don't get infusions, so I don't know what the point of the artificer is.
It's just there. Like,
If there is a point.
so
Everything else makes sense.
so it dropped me with a level 13 warlock with one level each in bard and cleric. The bard, I think, has zero utility in this thing The cleric might have a little utility. Okay, I take it back. The bard has proficiency in bagpipes. So there we go.
Funny.
Like some of these skill checks are just ridiculous. So how they apportion points out, he has 19 dexterity as a warlock. What's that?
Warlocks are half casters, so they actually utilize uh, melee fighting
Okay.
depending on their um, pact.
I was kind of picking up on that, but I'm thinking now that if you took out the bard and replaced that with rogue and dropped warlock down maybe to like 12 or something, or played around with that level a little bit, this might actually be a very serviceable character by the time it got to level 20. Because it's got a couple, like, its domain as a cleric is the Twilight domain, which one of its channel divinities is your eyes are blessed, allowing you to see through the deepest gloom. You have dark vision with no maximum range. You can see in dim light as if it were bright light, and in darkness as if it were dim light. So, like, it has infinite vision. To me, that's kind of cool.
Well, as a warlock, you can pick up um, Devil's Sight, which
Mm-hmm.
gives you 120 vision. It gives you 120. Um, it's improved dark vision. I forget what the actual name is, but you can see 120 feet as if it were daylight, even through magical darkness.
Hmm.
So because I built a warlock and I gave him that ability, and his whole thing was shadows. So
Right.
he got shadow spells all the time. Well, when I built him, I didn't realize that we were going to be fighting in the shadow realm where his shadow spells would be utterly useless for most of the time.
Gotcha.
But my original plan was to cast a sphere of darkness
Mm-hmm.
and then be the only one that could see inside of it and just beat the crap out of stuff.
Fair.
But I was in the shadow realm a lot of the times, and that didn't actually work out like I planned.
So this is kind of broken because they didn't stat him properly for this. But I mean, it's random, so I guess it's fine. It's packed magic, so you can cast known warlock spells using charisma as your spellcasting modifier. His modifier for charisma is +1.
That's funny.
Expanded spell list, Dark One's Blessing. When you reduce a hostile creature to 0 HP, you gain 14 temporary health. Maddening Hex, Armor of Shadows. Gaze of Two Minds. You can use your action to touch a willing humanoid and perceive through its senses until the end of your next turn, with an action to maintain when following turns. As long as the creature is on the same plane of existence as you, you are blinded and deafened to your own surroundings. That sounds dangerous. Cast Image at will. Ghostly Gaze. Once per short rest, as an action, you gain the ability to see through solid objects. Again, combining this with Rogue might be very, very, very beneficial. And also has Devil's Sight. He does also have that.
Oh, well, that's useless with if you have the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess
Well, the other one
Devil's
is no
Sight would
range.
allow you to walk. Yes, but I'm guessing Devil's Sight. The other one doesn't give you sight in magical darkness, so that would be the only benefit there.
Mm-hmm.
What I typed things in here.
All right. Let's see. Pact of the Blade. As an action, you can create a pact weapon in your hand. You choose from the form you're proficient with it, and it counts as magical. And you can also transform a magic weapon into your pact weapon by performing a special ritual. Okay. That would be beneficial. Once per short rest. You can make an ability or check or saving throw. You can use this feature to add a D10 to your roll. You could do so after seeing the roll, but before the effects occur. That's helpful. You can choose a resistance. Get 6 and level spells that you can use without having to expend a spell slot. Interesting. Very interesting. And for whatever reason, it has the tracker feat. That might be because it's variant human. This might not be a bad thing to do. Just tell everyone, make a random character and do a one shot and just see what happens.
Or even make a random character to get ideas like you did. So just make a random character and then go, huh, and then play around with it.
Right. Yeah, there's a little bit of potential with that thing. Probably not going to use it, but it's interesting. Very, very interesting. I
Very interesting. Who are you to be so wise in the Gavisas?
I am very much looking. Well, I'm not very much looking forward to using Boss Nass. Actually, I have to tell you this. I didn't want to just call him Boss Nass because people would get upset about having to call me boss the whole time, and he is definitely not going to be the boss. I have no backstory for him either yet.
He's definitely going to be the boss.
I said he's definitely not going to be the boss.
That's Ducky. You don't even have a choice.
Yeah, I know. So, but I have no backstory for him yet. But I didn't want to just be called boss all the time because I don't like being called boss. It's kind of annoying to me. But I didn't want to like change his name. So I looked up how to say boss in like 50 other languages, and I chose Danish. So he is now Chef Nas. And I'm looking forward to much confusion because of that.
Yeah, when I read it, I was like, wait, what? You're a chef?
The chef. I could do a combination Boss Nass and Swedish Chef.
Oh my goodness. I heard the Herviter. Eat your word you want treasure, man. I turned the picture.
Nerd Kirsten needs a guide and Bolton nerds.
Christian needs kind of birthday. And me using with the hair service spirit.
If it's a smatter on the teeter and the van further. I stopped trying. What's that?
And the hand advantage. I have the advantage.
Yeah. Oh. Like what? Are we even using words at this point? I don't know.
Oh, we're playing the Swedish chef.
Well, I mean, he does say words which you can kind of pick up half the time.
Isn't it the person?
There's a China to find a favor, turn. Something like that. I don't do a good Swedish chef. I have to do a lot more him.
Let's see. Oh, yeah.
There has to be some sort of level of forethought that goes into his language, speech, whatever. By the way, I'm assuming I do have to create some level of backstory for this guy.
Sure.
Okay. Crap. Are we just kind of throwing out the prefab ones at this point? Because
yeah, I'm running out.
like, there's no way. Those
you
are
can actually just reuse the one you had last time.
basically, yeah. Actually, that could kind of halfway work out with a rough idea I had that I just like, I'll figure it out later. Kind of halfway. Oh, those fun things like that there.
I really like Foundry, by the way.
I know.
That wasn't abundantly clear.
That is at least to me it's abundantly clear. but I don't think that really matters that much to anyone else. I mean, so go ahead, Masters. Tell everyone how much you love Foundry.
I love Foundry so much. It's made my life so much easier. Well, Foundry in and of itself hasn't made my life easier, but the ability that Foundry has to allow outside help to come in and do things such as modules that make my life easier, just I love it so much. And why are you rolling the same two over and over again? Okay, thank you for rolling a different one this time. We're gonna do this again. I'm testing out my uh, uh, um, turn. Testing out my roll tables. There we go. It finally came out.
Yes.
And why is that? I'm so confused. Uh, why is that the only one? Because that should be coming in from down there. Because it should be down here. But yeah, so all these modules have just made my life so much easier. Uh,
I'm not sure if
where's
I'm happy to hear that or not.
why?
Usually that's bad news for me.
Why is that bad news for you?
Because I usually end up dying. At least that's the way it's been so far.
That's fine.
That's easy for you to say. You're not the one dying every week. Actually, if Chef Nas dies, I'll be kind of surprised and totally okay with it. There's a reason I didn't pick Barkham. Even you're like, you should just bring Barkham back in. I'm like, no, he's died enough. I will save him for a time where I feel he might actually survive around.
To be fair, he didn't die that last time.
True, but that was through no fault of circumstance. Ah.
I like that. I like that. I like that a lot.
Hmm.
All right.
I just did a bad thing.
What?
I just did a bad thing.
What bad thing did you did?
I sent a link to Brokebutt
Why would you do such a?
because I like to make people want to spend money, despite the fact that I don't like to spend money myself.
Oh. See here. I need to put in this. No. That. Why did I do that? Control Z. Control
I don't
C.
know.
Control.
Why did you do that, Masters?
Great question. Update.
What is the thing that you did, Masters?
Um. Hey. That doesn't help me.
So I don't know what's going on over there, but I just heard my roommate say the thing that I say to people when they cut me off in traffic to his wife, and I'm like, oh. But well, okay. So you have to understand, it's me. So I'm not going to say bad things. I just might say good things in a very sarcastic, aggressive manner. So somebody cuts me off and I say, "You're a wonderful person, aren't you?" And I heard him say that to his wife, and that was the first thing that came. I'm like, man, that's not a pleasant conversation. Oh, and like, oh, that people do say that in a positive light, just not me. Just throwing weird stuff here in the chat, mess people up.
I don't know if this is gonna work. Hey.
This sounds like a normal state of affairs for you, Masters.
This is true.
So, did you get a chance to see the videos that Brookebutt's put in the chat for Evermore?
I saw them. I did not watch
I didn't watch them either. I was hoping you had.
them. Oh.
I am looking
Uh,
forward to that trip though. That is going to be tremendously, tremendously fun.
assuming it happened.
No. You don't understand. It's happening. If you decide not to join us, that's on you. But it's happening.
Bam.
Like, we'll work it out otherwise, but it's happening. Um, why would you say? Why would you even question this, Masters? You know the person who's working on it.
Uh, well, it's not a matter of us wanting to. It's more a matter of us having the money to and the time to.
I mean, if we
I
start,
don't think time assuming things go to back to a normal-ish state. I don't think it's going to be a problem to have the time to.
I
The
mean,
money, on the other hand,
it's actually not that expensive of a trip. I mean, not compared to the last one I went on with you. Just
uh,
throwing that out there.
my addiction to that place may be the reason I don't go.
What?
I said my addiction to that place may be the reason I don't go to Evermore.
Yeah, you need to not say those words ever again.
Why?
Well, I mean, because now it sounds like you're trying to back out, and it's like, no, that's not acceptable. You're going Masters. I know,
I can't
I know two
back out with it.
people who will break into your house and kidnap you and drive you there.
That's funny that you think that they have the power to do that.
Um, yeah, they absolutely do. We've had show and
No,
tell a couple nights. They absolutely can break into your house, kidnap you, and take you.
absolutely not. That's
Uh,
not how it works.
no, that's exactly how it will work if you try and back out on this one. You
Now I'm not going on principle.
like no, you don't. Well, I'll ask him to film it because I think it'll be highly entertaining when um you're objecting but also still going.
By the time you guys go, I will be in a new place and they won't know where I live. So
uh, by the way, I may have to send something to you via the mail.
via the mail.
Via the mail.
Why for?
For broke butt.
For broke butt.
For broke butt, yeah.
Why
I know
not
you guys
send
are
it
like
to
3 hours apart, but I don't care. That's close. That's closer than um.
Why not just send it to her?
Well, I'm trying to um maintain some distance, and I figure that's a really good way to not to maintain distance by to not know where she lives. I did come up with the idea that I should just send it to Ducky. And this is the point where Masters wasn't listening to what was said. Um, again. So yeah.
I'm trying to think here. How do I embed a URL in HTML?
And if I know, I don't code.
I wasn't asking you.
Well, then why are we Masters? Masters.
Copy, pasta, cut, uh, pasta, and bam. Let's see if that works. Update, close, go over here, and random encounter. And, hey, it works. Zach, got it.
Yay!
There's an error. It cannot get this website. Did I? I think I put an extra slash in the device.
Spelled something.
Let's go figure that out. I'm trying to make my life easier by making it more difficult to start with.
You know, I can kind of understand that. Like when something goes wrong on my car, there's usually like a lower level of repair that I can do to it, and I'm like, no, no, all four new tires. Just replace this entire part because I don't ever want to have to deal with this again. I want that part to outlast the rest of the vehicle. I would rather just like get to a point where I just get a new vehicle rather than have to replace that part again. Is that a fair thing to do? Fair way of looking at things.
Perfectly reasonable. Haha! That time it worked. Yay!
I know I know some people who are just like, oh no, well, let's just change one little thing. Let's just change one little aspect of something, and just yeah, it'll be fine. Make a moderate improvement. Like no. You guys, you don't understand. That's going to cost you so much more money in the long run. By just doing little incremental changes. If you're gonna do something, just do it, get it over with, and move on with your life. So, several years ago, when I did my first attempt at podcasting, I didn't spend any money, to my mind, on recording equipment. I had a pair of earbuds with an inline microphone, and that's what I was using. And then, well, I guess before that, I was using a $10 microphone from just like a Logitech thing, and then I had to switch up how I was recording different things. But so I was using this inline mic, and those earbuds lasted like 3 months, and then they broke, and then I had to get another one, and then those broke, and then I got another one, and then those broke. And by the end of the year, like if I'd have just spent all the money I spent on earbuds on a legitimate headset, I would have not had anywhere near the issues that I was having. I'd have a lot less frustration. I wouldn't have had to go to the store all this. And so, like, just spending a little bit extra on the front end can prevent a world of misery on the back end. Because the more you just throw little nickel and dime cheap shots at things, the less and less and less utility you're actually going to get out of it. Just just follow through. Make the big purchase. Do it. It's good for you. You have any stories like that, Masters, where you either did something half-heartedly or dramatic successes by spending more than you should have?
Uh, no, because I think I'm pretty much of the same mindset as you.
Okay.
I would rather spend a bunch of money all at once than to spend even more money over the course of several months or
Mm-hmm.
years.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got tired of paying a rental fee for my cable modem router from Comcast that only worked when it wanted to, uh, and they were charging me $35 a month for it. So I went and I spent $250 on a modem and a router um, combo or both individual pieces
Right.
that I specced out uh, just to save myself that $35 every month. They've paid for themselves now
Right.
because I've had them almost 2 years. Um, but but yeah, so I do things like that all the time. Like I didn't do the cheap headphone route. Like I okay, so for actually I didn't even pay for those, so I guess that doesn't even count. So for work for the longest time, I had um, the Apple earbuds
Right.
because where I work for the government, they use iPhones. Gross.
Yeah.
But they have earbuds laying around everywhere. So I was using earbuds, and after about a year, they would break, and so I would have to get a new pair. Have to get a new pair, uh, and then I actually bought because we ran out. I bought a pair of ones that weren't Apple earbuds, but they were shaped the same because I like the shape of the Apple earbuds. They're the only earbuds that I can actually use.
Right.
So I bought those because I like the shape. They were like $15. Those lasted me less than the Apple AirBuds did. So I thought, well, I'm not spending $15 every 6 months for this. So I went and bought myself a like a $45 over the ear, or not over the ear, on ear skull candy set of headphones.
Right.
Um, and they work great. I don't have any problem out of them. I've had them over a year now, though. To be fair, um, 8 months of it have been they've just been sitting at my desk at work
Uh huh.
because I haven't been there. Uh, but yeah, I love Skull Candy headphones. I've got a pair of Skull Candy headphones on right now, and they're wireless, Bluetooth, and it's lovely, and I love it.
Yeah, my headphones aren't wireless, but I'm not particularly broken up about that. I actually have like a 10-foot extender I can put on them so that I can be anywhere in
Yeah,
my room.
I had a a long cable for them
Mm-hmm.
um before, because I actually had to go buy a Bluetooth dongle so that I could use the Bluetooth part on my computer,
Right.
and I actually didn't do that until earlier this year. So I had a long cable, but I had it kind of wrapped around my mic boom, um, like it was wrapped around, cable managed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I could only move about, without moving my mic boom, I could move about 2 to 3 feet.
Right.
And then if I used my mic boom to go with me, I could get another 2 feet out of it. But that's not how that's supposed to work. So yeah, I really enjoy the freedom of just being able to get up and walk over to my fridge while people are RPing to go grab a drink.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes if I get the need, I go use the bathroom while they're RPing and try to rush back before they even notice I'm gone.
I've done that between rounds.
uh, but yeah, so but yeah, I mean, I can't think of anything that I wasted money on incrementally like that when I could have just bought the better thing. Yeah, I tend to spend months wanting a thing
Uh-huh.
before I actually purchase it, so I think that helps.
I know how that goes. I know how that goes much longer than months. Um,
Well, yeah.
like,
I mean,
go ahead.
I spent 3 years using PC Part Picker to pick out what I was going to build for a PC before I actually pulled the trigger and bought a PC. I was using my laptop that I have because, like, I okay, so maybe the laptop might have been the thing because I bought a laptop for school.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't very fast. The CPU was fine, and it had a dedicated graphics card. Those are always my requirements for a laptop. It has
Right.
to have a dedicated GPU, and it has to have a decent CPU. But it only had um, uh, 8 gigabytes of RAM
Right.
in it, and it had a mechanical hard drive.
Okay.
And so about 2 months after I got it, I went and bought an SSD, M.2 SSD for it, and
Mm-hmm.
put that in because the storage on it was ridiculously slow. I think it was like 4,500 RPM, and the standard nowadays minimum of 72. Uh, so
Right.
literally, I would press a button and I could walk away from my computer and come back and go, oh, okay, I've still got time to go do some more stuff before this thing opens up.
Mm-hmm.
Especially on boot, it would take forever to boot. But then as soon as I put that SSD in there, fast,
Right.
solved a lot of my problems immediately. And then when I started researching heavily into building an actual desktop,
Mm-hmm.
um, I was like, I could spend $1,200 and get this desktop and monitor because I needed everything. I didn't have anything.
Right.
I was like, I could spend this $1,200 to get monitors and the computer and all this stuff and build it, but it's like, or I could spend $100 and upgrade my RAM in this laptop, and that should suffice me for what I'm doing with it.
Mm-hmm.
And still, realistically, I could probably realistically get away with just using my laptop and hooking it up to some monitors,
Right.
which was a thing that I actually looked at doing too. Was getting a docking station and some monitors, and just continuing to use my laptop. Because I mean, like right now, even if I were to be heavily gaming right now, it would be Minecraft,
Right.
and that laptop can more than easily handle Minecraft. Um, and then of course it can handle D&D. I think it's even powerful enough to easily handle what I'm doing in Foundry
Hmm.
because Foundry's not that demanding. Um, it's actually a pretty sweet little laptop that runs great still to this day, and it's 5 years old. I think it has an i7 seventh gen processor in it. It's now got 16 gigs of RAM. It has a uh, 512 SSD, M.2, and a terabyte hard drive. And then I think it has a 1060 in it.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a decent laptop,
Right.
but just the one screen is what really got me. I I I have to have at least two screens. Now I want more than two. Like
Yeah.
DMing makes me wish I had four more screens.
That might be a bit excessive, but
Uh, but I mean, there's no. I mean, I don't have any room to put any more monitors right now. So,
right.
um, that's the only reason I haven't bought more monitors is because I don't have anywhere to put them.
Okay,
Uh,
so that's something that I actually did a little bit of adjustment with. When I was living in my previous place, I had a wall mount for one of my monitors, and then the other two were just on my desk. When I moved here, that really wasn't an option because I'm not drilling holes in the walls around here. It was like a bad idea. So I got a lock-in desk mount that holds two monitors. So right now, if I was to make a couple adjustments, I could technically have four monitors very easily because I just have to buy another one of these desk mounts, and they're like $15 on Amazon.
yeah. So if I were to use one of those desk mounts, it would break my desk.
I have a very cheap, old, broken, once shot desk,
Yeah. What's it made of?
uh, particle board.
Yeah, mine's made of glass.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, that's poor planning on your part. I mean, like,
No, literally it is cobbled together pieces of furniture that I have been. So my main desk is a glass tabletop with metal legs.
mm-hmm,
It used to have a keyboard tray. I have broken that
right?
because I it has a bar going across the back.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Did you mute yourself again? Masters, can you hear me? You suddenly stopped talking.
What?
You just totally cut out.
Oh, where did I cut out at?
You were starting to describe the bar across the back, and that's where you just
Yes,
disappeared.
okay. So there's a bar across the back that I put my feet on, and I press my knees up against the bottom of the desk a lot. And there
Mm-hmm.
used to be a keyboard tray here, which broke because I did that. Um, then to my right, I have a I can never remember the name of it. Uh, uh, I almost had it. Buffet table. I have a buffet table to my right. Um, that I use to hold things. Pressed between it and the wall, I have a fold-out TV tray table
Right.
that's got my router and my modem and power stuff on it. Then I have a small bedside table thing. I don't know. It's kind of like a bench. It's a big, sturdy, heavy wooden bench thing,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what my computer is now sitting on. So my my desk is literally four different things, only one of which is an actual desk.
Hmm. Yeah, I just have the one desk, and
Yeah. So I've already been talking to my dad about it. But when I moved to my new house, he has a contact that does natural cut wood
mm-hmm.
instead of the very very straight, very very clean looking stuff you could find at Lowe's or Home Depot. It's very natural cut wood,
Right.
and so I want to get a single slab that is 3 foot deep by 8 foot long,
Okay.
um, to just make a massive table out of. Uh, but I want to wait till I move because I don't want to have to move it more than once. Uh, um, and he doesn't think that he's going to have anything that big, but we'll figure something out. But I want to do that, have everything on there, and have it supported by legs. And I'm gonna need to build a footrest as well because I've grown accustomed to having somewhere to put my feet.
Right.
Um, so
Yeah, that is a major failing of my present arrangement. There is no place for me to put my feet up around here, and that
I mean, I've
needs to
got all
change.
kinds of places to put my feet on this current desk. I've got a bar at the back. I've got bars on the side. The legs actually slope, so if I'm sitting far enough back, and I can actually prop my feet up on those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got all kinds of arrangements I can put my feet. Because I have to have my seat up as my seat is as high up as it will go, and it is a good 2 inches lower than I would like it to be compared to the desk. Um, and when I sit in it properly, my feet hover about an inch off the ground
Mm-hmm.
because I got short legs.
Hmm.
My pants length is only 29 inches.
So I'm significantly taller than you, and I only have a 32 inseam. Most of my height is above my waist, which is
Yeah, mine's 29.
I am
I
like,
actually had a friend growing up who she is standing, I think 5'5", 5'6",
uh-huh.
um, but sitting from her waist up, she's like 3'4", 3'5".
Mm-hmm.
She is significantly taller from the waist up than she is from the waist down.
Well, it's funny because there's a guy who's coming to the church here, and he's standing up. We're the exact same height. Sitting down, I'm 4 inches taller than he is.
She used to pride herself because when walking around school,
Mm-hmm.
she was the shortest person in her class, but sitting down, she was the tallest.
Right.
Ugh.
Oh,
Oh my goodness. Ugh. All right,
there we go.
I think I have all of the prep in for tomorrow that I'm going to need. And I already had the prep done. It's just putting it into Foundry in a way that is fast and accessible,
Mm-hmm.
which was easy to do now that I know how to do it. Also, this new thing that I added
Right.
has this really cool. Actually, no, my prep isn't done. Ah, shoot, because I thought I need another map. Uh,
Rise.
but this um new thing I put in today. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that is not how you spell wreck.
I'm gonna wreck it. I don't know. That's just
Um,
came to mind. Inappropriate.
this new module that I put in today actually came with an art browser,
Mm-hmm.
so you can just search for these art installations, and it gives you a link to it, so you can just go and copy it and save it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping this actually cuts down on my searching for stuff.
I mean, we will find something that you don't have. We will think something up, but we'll find a way to mess you over. Or like, it's. I would say it's almost a goal, but it's actually a goal. We are actively trying to mess you up at this point.
Who is we?
Everyone, both campaigns. Um,
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that it's a lot of fun to try and come up with something that you're not prepared for. Um,
And you think you succeed in this?
no, not typically. Um,
Ooh,
you're
that
kind
could work.
you're kind of like Tiberius Rourke.
Huh?
It said you're kind of like Tiberius Rourke.
No, I heard you. I don't know who that is.
He's the guy who's never surprised. This is a Disney reference. Does Masters not know who Tiberius Rourke is? Oh.
Oh, yes. You're calling him by the name that they hardly ever use in the movie.
It's his
Call him
name.
Commander Lyle, for crying out loud. Commander Rourke, Commander Lyle. Don't Tiberius.
Isn't that his
They
name?
maybe say that once in the movie.
I don't actually think they say it in the movie at all, but that's just be.
See, you're just trying to throw me off. Is what it is.
Hey, I know some Disney trivia that you don't. Deal with it.
Really? You sure?
Apparently, I knew that.
That doesn't count.
But we have evidence. Sometimes it's not necessarily about the plethora or the breadth of knowledge. It's about these special little things that just pop up along the way that other people don't know. This is how you can fake being smarter than you are. Not necessarily that you are smarter, but simply that you can make people think you are in very, very narrow, specialized circumstances. This is my philosophy on life and learning.
It usually is. All right.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was able to find a map fairly quickly.
Good.
I love this program.
Hmm.
Well, maybe this is the one that I actually want. We shall see.
If this is the one, what?
You already have placed objects in the scene. I have not. Bam. Why are you so tired? What? No.
Yeah. Wrong buttons.
That's not what I wanted. Why are you being dumb?
I don't know. What's being done, Masters?
I just saved a. I just saved a thing, and it's not in here. Where's it at? Um, folder. Yeah, it's in maps. Why is it not showing up? Four, seven, one. Quit being dumb. Select file. Doesn't have that problem because he refuses to put out any decorations, including a tree. That's true.
Yeah, I've heard. I'm actually not sure if I'm going to be able to do that to put up anything this year because I don't have anything. Kind of, kind of.
If I put things up, um, then I have to take them down.
That is
So
how that works.
so I don't do that. Hey, there's the ship. Okay. So now I need to do this, and so easy.
Not to figure something out. I don't want people showing up. Well, I don't know. Maybe some people showing up at my house.
What are you trying to decide if you want to or not to do?
Well, this is I was kind of going off the Christmas decoration thing. So those who are who are listening in and not watching, and even if you were watching, there's no actual video here, so screw you. Those who are not tuned into the Discord channel, I posted up a meme that I've made here while Masters was geeking out over Foundry still, and it says if stores can start stocking Christmas items in August, then no one should complain if I keep them up until April. Change my mind. And that has sparked a bit of discussion, particularly about the fact that Masters isn't going to put up any Christmas decorations. And I was just positing, if I'm going to be able to put up any decorations this year. I'm not really a big decorating kind of person. It's not really part of my personality, but I do really like Christmas. So I will probably find something to do somehow, some way. I just don't have anything at the moment to do that, to make that happen. So, but at the same time, I have people up here. If they find out that I don't have any decorations for Christmas, they will like pull up to my house at like 3 o'clock in the morning, break in the door, and decorate my house. So, I mean, that's also an option.
That's exactly what Broke Butt did one year.
Oh, that sounds exactly like what he would do. How did that go for you, Masters?
Well, my sister was here at the time, so
Okay.
she helped.
And you're I'm just gonna revisit a previous point of conversation. You really think you're going to be able to not go to Evermore with that person being close enough to you and armed? You don't think she's going to be able to get you to go to Evermore?
Nope. Not if I don't want to.
Mm.
She couldn't get me to come to her birthday party. How you going to think she's going to get me to travel across state lines?
You know, I have come to appreciate some of her tenacity in getting things done that she wants to see done. Because yep, I think if she wants to get something done, she's going to make it happen, and you don't really have any say in the matter, no matter how much you think you do.
That is where you are wrong, sir.
The evidence that I have been privy to is contrary to your statement.
You are suggesting that anybody has any control over me whatsoever.
No, I'm not saying that she has control over you in the slightest. I'm saying that she'll make you do it.
That would require her to have some sort of control over me.
No, it would not.
Have.
You just think it would. Control is not required.
Control is required.
Fear, that's what's
required. I fear nothing. Except small dark spaces.
Well, except what?
It's not even small dark spaces. It's being restrained.
I mean, that is exactly how she say. That is exactly how she would get you across state lines.
No,
like Like we'd pull up, hey,
I'm a fighter,
like
not a flamer.
we're all like greeting each other. She walks over, like, oh yeah, Masters is here too. Opens the trunk. You're like tied up like a Christmas turkey in there. That's when the Swedish Chef comes out.
Good luck with that.
Just flopping like just a tied up slug, can't move anything. I absolutely see that happening. And Ducky would help her because Ducky would think it would be hilarious. Might as well resign yourself, Masters. It's going to happen.
I don't know. We'll see.
Plus, it'll be a lot of fun.
Oh, it's going to be loads of fun if I go.
Like, I mean, it'll be loads of fun if you don't go, but
well,
I mean,
loads of fun for me if I go.
Okay, all right.
Probably loads of fun for me if I don't go.
No, you don't actually engage in anything enough unless you're like required to do so to have loads of fun without some sort of external stimuli.
That's not true.
That is very true.
All the time.
Would you like to say that again, Masters?
So I have loads of fun all by myself all the time.
Okay. Yes,
what I say.
Well, this just took a southern turn, didn't it?
A southern turn?
I mean, that's a double entendre, and it can certainly be taken that way. Like there's like levels of double entendre that just happened in this conversation. One by myself, southern turn, could mean south, could mean just going south. It's okay. Here we are. Wow, it only took 2.5 hours for this podcast to get there. Wow, we need what's his name? Owen Wilson. Wow. Just wow. He never did that one, but let's just think, wow. Very confused. That's a normal state of life, Masters.
I guess this works.
Confused.
The dynamic lighting is being weird on this map.
Masters, I just realized something. Foundry is a Pokemon.
Gotta catch them all?
It used confusion.
A stretch.
You better believe it was a stretch, but I had fun trying to get there.
Let's go back to the walls. What makes this wall stand out? Being it's fine like it is. It's interesting like it is, I think.
That's up to the players.
True.
By the way, I have not mentioned the whole. Never mind. You'll find out about that later. Yeah.
Wait, what?
So I'm getting messages from people that I'm not specifically not telling certain things to, and when those people listen into this podcast, because some of them are people who do listen into this podcast, you're going to get a very angry phone call.
I don't understand.
That like I said, you will, Masters.
If you say so.
You will. We got anything else here on the agenda, Masters?
Are you telling Brokebutt that I'm threatening not to go?
No, I'm specifically not telling Brokebutt that you're not going, or that you're even thinking about not going. I'm going to let her listen to the podcast, discover that joy for herself, and then let her have fun.
Oh. I'm always thinking about not going to somewhere. I'm an introvert.
You see, this is true. Understand?
Unless it's Disney World, and it's in the future, I'm thinking about not going.
Okay.
I'm thinking about not going to my parents for Christmas this year.
Yeah, I've met your mother. That's not going to go well. That's another situation where you'll be happily in your home by yourself, doing whatever you do, having fun apparently. And does your mom have a key to your place?
She does actually, if she remembers to bring it.
Well, I don't know in this case which would have been worse, whether she does or she doesn't, because if she does, the door will fly open and the family will come in. It might be 5 o'clock in the evening, but they'll be there with Christmas dinner and be like, "You are having dinner with us." And if not, the door will be pounded on. And pounded on. And if it does not open from your side, your dad will start to take the hinges off the door.
The hinges are on the inside.
I do
It
not
would be a very ineffectual door if the hinges were on the outside.
I do not underestimate his ingenuity to make that happen. I gotta stop looking at Guns Masters. I want to buy him a bunch more. Real problem. Actually, if the way things are going, maybe I may not make it through next week with it before I do something ill-advised again.
I think I am done. I think I have everything I need.
So happy to hear that. Hear that everybody, Masters is done. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate it. We're really just here to be his support group as he tries to talk himself through getting Foundry set up. Now that that is done, I believe we have accomplished our goal and our mission for the night. It has been interesting. I think probably not actually from the viewer standpoint. I have proof of this because nobody's still here. Yeah.
Ooh, that's interesting.
What?
I can create a roll table from an actor's folder.
Okay.
So I can create a folder. I can create a folder like right now. I've got the players folder active,
Mm-hmm.
and I can create a rollable table of those players. See what that looks like.
I don't know. And no one else does either.
I know what it looks like. I know what it looks like. It's a rollable table that has all the players on it, and I can just hit roll, and it goes, "Oh, this is the person you're talking to." Okay, it chose Brachion that time.
Oh, so like you could do that for like targeting?
I could, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
The beholder casts blah 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 to target. Oh, wow. Yeah, not a fan of that. Cause that my luck, it'll be me every time.
Let's see. I'm gonna roll it 8 times. There's 8 people on the board. Let's roll it 8 times and see who it chooses every time. So first time was Brachion. Second time was Fang. Third time was Langley.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth time was Brachion. Fifth time was Fang.
Mm-hmm.
Sixth was Kit,
Who's Kit?
the kobold.
Oh, kill him.
Seventh time was Scrap,
Mm-hmm.
and eighth time was Langley.
Mm-hmm.
So Langley twice, Fang twice, Brachion twice, and then Scrap once, and Kit once.
So
And I rolled again, and it rolled Fang.
okay, so this actually kind of proves my point because as soon as I try and make the point, it's of course not going to pick me because this is just how Murphy's Law operates. So thank you for proving that that is still in effect.
I'm going to randomly kill one of you guys next session. Let's see who it is. Oh, it picked you this time. I'm just joking. It picked Calliope.
I mean, well, she's also like kind of got a doom and gloom mentality around her. So
But that's cool. I could uh, um, put a bunch of creatures into a folder
Mm-hmm.
and then uh, randomly choose which one comes out to attack you.
Hey.
What, do you not like that idea?
I'm generally not a fan of being attacked in the first place, but um, it happens a lot around you, especially in Tuesday campaign where I've lost 2 characters. Just
Somebody is salty.
I was really, really attached to Poshu. Okay, so here's the thing. It's set up, and I understand it's the module. I got that. Totally understand it. We spent a month making characters.
I'm really upset that Poshu's dead too.
Like, all of us spent at least a month making characters, and then it's like, oh, yeah, they're dead. Okay. I think if this had been presented as more of like a Margreave kind of thing with how we went into that one, it would
Oh,
have,
where Fang was like, somebody's going to die. It's going to happen. Just be
yes,
ready for it.
then there would have been a lot less effort and a lot less attachment. But when you're like setting this up, okay, we're going to take you from level 1 to level 20 and this and that and the other. Okay, so we're going to have these characters a long time. It puts a lot more impetus on us to really be attached to them.
Well,
And then they
I
die.
mean,
Session
if
2, Session
there
3,
had
Session
been
4.
better care taken instead of poor planning and rash decisions, not necessarily on your part, but on the part of the party, Ducky.
A couple of
So
times.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's technically responsible for 2 character deaths. I'm just
Who was
uh,
the other one?
her own.
Her own?
Yeah. She was the one who's
Well,
like,
it
"All
wasn't
right, let's."
necessarily.
She was like, "Hey, let's go in the mill and wait for people." Like me and Mumbles were just like, "We're just gonna wait out here to protect it for things coming." Oh, let's go inside. Oh, you guys go right ahead, and then they did, and then they died.
Yeah, so as you guys were standing outside, like I had read the module and it said that they had set up an ambush on the inside of the mill, but
Hmm?
there is absolutely nothing in the module that gives you a reason to go inside the mill.
And so we didn't.
Yeah, and so like when you guys were like, okay, we'll stay outside, I was thinking that's smart. Why are they not? Why and I was like reading
Mm-hmm.
and reading and reading, trying to find out a reason to get you guys to go inside.
Uh huh.
And I was like, they don't give you a reason to go inside. You scared off the kobolds, you've put out the fires,
Mm-hmm.
you just wait for the guard.
Yep.
Okay, we'll do that. And so I was thinking, and then I'll have the guard go in, and they'll be the ones to be ambushed. That'll be great. And then the you guys could save the guards.
Mm-hmm.
But that didn't happen.
Nope.
And there was no reason. And then she went in. I was like, okay, so you guys go in, and you and Mumbles were like, we stay outside. And I was like, okay, here we go.
Good. She's responsible for 2 character deaths. One of them just happened to be mine. Mumbles killed the other one. Like I almost think it would have been better with like Poshu if I'd have actually nat won that role. Um, I think that would have been much better. Just from a player standpoint, not narratively. Just been like, okay, yeah, that he totally deserved that one. But I mean, and I probably should have had Ducky off by saying, "Don't heal me" or something. You'll dishonor the duel. But she's made it pretty clear that she doesn't care what he was saying, so it was she'd have done it anyway, and then he would have died
Yep.
anyway, and so there was no way around that.
Yep. And she was like, "Why would he attack him when he was on the ground?" Because he's evil.
Oh, you remember that Kim Possible episode where they try to steal her cousin's chair or her cousin's wheelchair, Cybertronic chair?
Yes. Yes.
Newsflash, Chico, I'm a bad man.
Those are pretty good, Doctor.
He's got a lot of Joker in him. I'm gonna be honest. It doesn't hurt that the guy who voiced him also voiced.
Draken.
Yeah,
My
Draken.
goodness.
It doesn't hurt that the guy who voiced him also did the Joker at one point in the animated movie Batman Under the Red Hood, which is great. That's the story of the killing of Tim Drake, and then him coming back as the Red Hood. Great movie. Good Joker. Not enough of a minute though.
Hmm.
That is it.
Oh.
It is kind of interesting though. Ever since Mark Hamill became the animated Joker, every single Joker voice since then has been evocative of him. Maybe not a direct impression, but has certainly taken major cues from him.
Speaking of the Joker,
Here.
did you see the news that they are doing reshoots of
Justice League.
Justice League, and they have Jared Leto's Joker in it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
People are so upset about that.
Like
They're like, "You're taking a bad movie and making it worse."
it almost sounds so this is going to be the Snyder cut, and it almost sounds like they're like, hey, so people want to see the Snyder cut thing. We just really don't care at this point. Zack Snyder, here's a blank check. Do whatever you want. And we'll see you later. And they just like walked away. And now he's just like playing in a sandbox of Batman toys. And he's like, oh, we can have the like he has become the 5-year-old who's like, because there's now Deathstroke, there's Joker, there's like 9 other villains. There's like, guys, you got to stop him sometime. Like this is going to be like a 9-hour movie. If they don't do something quick, it's going to just be a 9-hour movie, and Zack Snyder's going to be sitting there in like the third row, just like chomping through popcorn, going, "Oh yeah, this is exactly what I want to have happen." And everyone else is like, "Why is the first hour entirely in slow mo?"
Why are we watching the Joker put his makeup on? Did somebody? Is this background stuff? Did you guys film? The, I
I
I
mean,
don't understand what's.
I watched the Joker put his makeup on in Joker, but that's a different movie entirely.
No, I still haven't seen that movie.
Oh, you need to see that movie. It is so good.
It's not on anywhere for free.
Don't not on any place.
Legal for free.
I'm quite sure if I spent 10 minutes, I could find it. If it took me that long.
It's on Hulu now with a premium subscription. I don't have Hulu now.
Yeah, and I'm not paying for premium. That's like that's like $40 a month.
It's also on HBO Max.
Not buying that either.
Wait, it's on Amazon Prime?
As a rental, or you can buy it. I think.
Oh, I can watch it through Amazon Prime with HBO. I could actually do a 7-day free trial of HBO and watch it.
That would be an idea.
What is in my cart? Oh, right. Oh, that reminds me. D brand. So I purchased the new Google Pixel.
Yes?
Um, it won't be here until at the earliest next Friday.
Hmm.
At the latest, the next Friday,
Hmm.
theoretically.
Hmm.
Um, but D brand has cases for it, and I like it, so I think I'm gonna get it.
What the say that again?
D brand case
What is
for
D
for the Pixel 5.
what is a D
You don't know
brand
what
case? No, I
you
don't
don't know
know.
what D brand is?
Oh.
D Brand is they were a skin company where they would um, have basically stickers to put on your electronic devices to protect them from scratches and stuff,
Okay.
and also individualize your phone.
Mm-hmm.
But they've recently, I think, in the past couple of years, have started making cases
Okay.
for phones. But everybody loves them because they're very, very snarky on in their email replies and on Twitter.
Okay.
Like if you call them out for something, they'll straight up cuss you out and tell you how stupid you are.
Okay.
Um, and people love it.
I mean,
Um,
I go to the Biden insult bot for that, but sure.
there was a guy on Twitter that um, shot a picture of his phone case that was buried in. It was a box that was about 2.5 feet by 2.5 feet for a phone case, and it was inside there with a bunch of packing peanuts.
Right.
And he took a picture of it and said, "Really, D Brand, wasting all these packing peanuts
Mm-hmm.
space for just this phone case?" And so they sent him a box that was much larger, and
Mm-hmm.
all it had in it was packing peanuts.
I mean, that's pretty cool. uh, it's really nice when you can get like a level of internet culture that just transfers over to real life. I think that's a really good thing. There's probably something wrong with me, but apparently the only thing they're making for is okay. No, there's more options here. Okay, I'm now educating myself on D brand. They don't make anything
Good.
for any of the any of the phones that I have, so probably not. How? Okay, wait a second. Wait a second. I am not this slow. How the heck is Samsung up to the Galaxy S20? There's no way we've skipped like 12 years.
Because they have the same naming scheme as the Sony PlayStation and the Xbox and Windows, where they just skip numbers.
Someone needs to apply the rod of correction to the seat of, or the board of education to the seat of learning over there. Just stop. Stop. Don't do it anymore. Please make it stop. Um, mhm. All right, let's see. What do we got else here, Masters?
Uh, let's see. Broke Butt says topic of discussion in case you guys are still streaming,
Hmm?
which we're not. We don't stream this. How many times do we have to explain this to you, woman? Um,
At least once,
I'm
most miss one.
currently eating a grilled cheese made with shredded cheese due to the lack of shopping from studying. Uh, favorite college kid meal you personally prepared?
Ramen.
I ate a lot of hot dogs in college when I went to college. Like I would just pop them in the microwave for 30 seconds, and I had buns, and I would just eat hot dogs. No ketchup, no mustard, nothing. Hot dogs in a bun.
Yeah, I make ramen, but I also make like aggressive ramen. Where you,
Ooh, I also, speaking of ramen, I also learned that if you cook ramen
mm-hmm.
and then you don't drain it and you put eggs in it, like raw eggs, the hot water will cook the eggs, and it's like egg drop soup, and it's delicious. Yeah.
You're not supposed to drain them. It's ramen. Ramen is a soup.
Oh well, that's the only way I've ever cooked it, so I don't know how to cook ramen.
Like,
I've literally only ever cooked ramen in the way that I just described to you.
why?
Why? What?
What the? You're you're throwing away the best part, man.
I didn't throw away anything.
You drained out the liquid.
No, I didn't. I literally just said, "Don't drain it."
Oh, okay. Say, yeah. Hmm.
No,
Okay.
I cooked. I make ramen, and then while it's as soon as I get it out of the microwave, I put uh I drop some raw eggs into it.
Yeah, yeah. I do the
Yeah,
same thing, but
and it's delicious.
mm-hmm,
That's another thing I used to do.
I say,
Realistically, what I did most of the time was I would go to McDonald's and get a crap ton of their double cheeseburgers and McChickens,
mm-hmm,
and then just heat them up over the weekend. Either that, or I would get two large pizzas from Papa John's,
mm-hmm,
and then just eat on that all weekend.
mm-hmm. This here, let me throw this in here. So I've been doing fried rice and stuff, trying to teach myself somewhat how to cook. I have not progressed beyond fried rice yet.
It was a very uh, Discord. You did why? I clicked on your picture that you just put in there, and it popped up smaller than the picture that's in there.
It might be a very small picture. I don't know. I just grabbed a random picture, like trying
Oh,
to
that's
show
a
you.
random picture.
I was just
Okay.
trying to show you, like, this is ramen.
Yes, I know what ramen
Okay,
is.
but like, you know, there's there's juice, there's substance,
Yes,
there's like there's a
yes,
reason.
I know what ramen is.
Okay. Yeah. Let me throw this in here. I also did the I'm too lazy to cook this week. So I went to a Middle Eastern place I'm familiar with, and I got this rather fantastic tray of just deliciousness. I have to find it in here. There it is. Bam! It's beautiful. I bought that on Monday. I just finished it up today.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a Middle Eastern. Okay, so underneath everything there is about an inch and a half of yellow saffron rice. And then there is a plethora of different meats here. So on the top and the bottom, you see what's called chicken cream chop. There's chicken tikka. There is chicken and beef kebab. There's beef shawarma. Um, Something else in there. I'm not really sure what the other thing is, but it's good. I think it's also some chicken shawarma. Then there also comes with three different kinds of like soup. There's like a curry potato stew, chicken lemon rice soup, and then this white bean thing, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but it's okay. They also come with like baba ganoush, and a couple other like pickled vegetables and things along the sides. And then I got a bunch of fresh pita bread, and I walked out of there for $44, and it fed me and my roommate for an entire week. Which feeding my roommate for a day is usually a $44 experience. So,
Why why are you feeding your roommate?
well, we're kind of like splitting expenses on food and things like that. And so that was my contribution this week as opposed to cooking something. I'm like, I don't want to cook this week.
Yeah, I didn't feel like doing anything this weekend, so I just ordered two medium pizzas,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I'm eating this weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yep, there's a lot to be said for leftovers. I'm learning this. I'm probably gonna try and cook curry this week.
So last Sunday,
Hmm.
no, Wednesday. Wednesday, I cooked chicken and dumplings,
Right.
and I'm learning to cook smaller batches.
Okay.
But I cooked chicken and dumplings, and I ate on it Wednesday and Thursday. No, no. I didn't make it Sunday. I made it Sunday. Um, ate on it Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
That makes more sense. Yeah. Um, Before that, I cooked a huge pot of chili because I mean it's chili,
Right.
so I love it. But I cooked it and I ate chili every day for every meal for a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm the kind of person I don't. I'm not a foodie. I don't care about food. I eat food because my stomach beats on me if I don't. So, which if you I mean you've seen me.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like I'm lying, but I really don't care about food. As long as I'm not hungry, I'm good. And so I can eat the same thing every single day, all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and be fine. Like my freezer would be filled with nothing but chicken fingers if it wasn't for the fact that I have my food delivered, and the people would think I was a weirdo for having nothing but chicken.
You are allowing yourself to be shamed into having good, healthy options. Okay.
uh, I wouldn't say healthy, but
Healthier or more diverse. How about that?
more diverse. That's a better word. Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, but yeah, I could eat the same exact meal all day, every day, from now until eternity, and it would not bother me one iota.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
I actually got the stuff to make um, another pot of chicken and dumplings and another pot of chili.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking
So
that this is going to be a week to try and make curry. I love curry. I like curry better than chili. Like curry to me is like the rest of the world's take on chili, and then like America's like we got to put beans in here for some reason. uh,
actually, um, the traditional chili soup doesn't have beans. Chili originated in Texas and it doesn't have beans.
you know, that is useful information because I don't really like beans in general. They're probably good for me, but people don't want to be around me very much when I have them. So. Ah. Oh
Rosebud is
man.
all kinds of confused. She thinks that you made that thing in the bottom picture.
I am not that talented. Um.
If that's your college meal, I'm feeling like. Don't correct her. Let her listen to the podcast. She got
um.
mad at me for the last podcast.
Yeah, she did. She's actually been asking me all week long if she could come in and add a third voice. I'm like,
And yell at me.
I mean, it would save time.
Like she started DMing me while we were playing Tuesday night, and I was like, I can't deal with this right now. I'm trying to DM.
Well, so was she.
Uh,
She was DMing you.
uh,
That was not. That was such a bad joke.
it was bad. It was pretty bad.
Hmm.
Um,
Anyway, did we answer that question?
what question? Oh, yeah, I guess.
All right. Um.
I don't particularly have anything else if you're trying to wrap it up.
I might be trying to wrap it up. Like I said, I've not had a lot of sleep this week. I'd like to get some sleep tonight. I have to do a bunch of things at church tomorrow, so.
That makes sense.
Yep. We're almost at 3 hours here, so by the time we finish
Yeah.
saying goodbye, we should be there.
By the time we finish saying goodbye,
You know, there may be some correlation to your skepticism. Um. Yeah. Anyway, guess we'll say thank you all for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. Kind of a lot of ebb and flow in this one. You can just skip around to the parts you didn't like now that we're at the end and it's too late. If you would be so kind as to drop a like and subscribe on this and make sure you share this to anyone who may be interested in, or actually even better yet, people who wouldn't be interested. Find someone you don't like and share this podcast with them. Torture their souls. And then, yeah, hopefully we'll see you all back next week. Does that fair, Masters?
I mean, I won't see anybody,
I
but
mean,
sure.
figuratively. Figuratively. But yeah. Yeah. You all have been awesome. You've contributed so much by not being here. You're the best. All you viewers. Um well
You keep saying viewers.
well we have 3.
What are
Potentially
they viewing?
4.
They're not
Uh
viewing anything.
they might be watching on YouTube. I don't know. I haven't checked my analytics in months. Um they're theoretically watching or listening or something. It's programming. I'm used to viewers. I don't get this whole listeners audience thing. I'm just like, how many views do I have on YouTube? That's my whole metric of how I'm doing in life. So far, it's not very good. Anyway, drop that where it is. Thank you all for watching, listening, whatever it is. We'll see you next time. Yeah, goodbye.